Welcome to Lesson 2. We're talking about narrative flow. What is narrative flow? Well, it simply refers to how a story moves. When a story flows, readers will absorb the narrative like a sponge. Each event should be set forth in a way that clearly shows how each element leads into the next. This is a short section, but it's important, as you'll see. One way to help your story flow and move smoothly is to let things resonate. And what I mean by this is put the word conveying your most important concept at the end of the sentence or a paragraph, because the space after that period will let this word or concept resonate with a deeper impact on the reader. So I'll give you some examples from my manuscript, Joshua and the Lightning Road. I had this sentence in my story originally that went like this: "The creek raced along like a roaring monster in the rain." Well, compare it to what I changed it to. The creek raced along like a roaring monster. Do you see how I rearranged the words and I have roaring monster at the end of that sentence so it can resonate? Here's another example from the same manuscript. "We were supposed to work on our fort today, but because of the storm, it was a muddy wasteland out back." Compare it to what I changed it to and listen for how things resonate at the end. "We were supposed to work out back on our fort today, but because of the storm, it was a muddy wasteland." Muddy wasteland, ooh, right? Much stronger how it resonates. So keep this technique in mind as you write how you are ending each sentence and paragraph. It can really strengthen your story. So let's reinforce this concept a little bit more. What you want to do in your manuscript is look for paragraphs or sentences where the important concept or heightened emotion is hidden in the middle. Then rearrange your sentences and words for the most powerful effect. I had the habit of once plopping important emotional moments in the middle of paragraphs. I had an editor call me out on this all the time. So now I'm super aware of this as I write, and you can be too. We had just talked about letting things resonate in your narrative, like, for example, not hiding important concepts, emotions, and phrases in the middle of your paragraph, like I've been guilty of doing. And I want to give you an example here of how we can let things resonate in our narrative that have a deeper emotional impact on the reader. And this is an example from one of my favorite books. This is a middle grade, but more of a literary middle grade, called The One and Only Ivan by Katherine Applegate. And the story she writes here, I'll just show you on the page if you can see a little bit. She writes in very short sentences and paragraphs throughout. So this is a consistent technique that she uses in the story, and she uses it in a powerful way to let things resonate. And I'll give you an example here. Just to give you a little bit about this story too. This is the story actually based on a real life story about a gorilla who lives in a shopping mall zoo. And his name is Ivan. And the story is told in his point of view. "Some animals live privately, unwatched, but that is not my life. My life is flashing lights and pointing fingers and uninvited visitors. Inches away, humans flatten their little hands against the wall of glass that separates us. The glass says, 'You are this, and we are that,' and that is how it will always be. Humans leave their fingerprints behind, sticky with candy, slick with sweat. Each night a weary man comes to wipe them away. Sometimes I press my nose against the glass. My nose print, like your fingerprint, is the first and last and only one. The man wipes the glass, and then I am gone." So as you can see again, Applegate uses spacing between the paragraphs so things can resonate, but also I want to just read the last word of every paragraph so that you can see how she lets these words resonate. Life, us, be, away, one, gone. So I think Applegate is a master at letting things resonate throughout this novel in the consistent, wonderful voice of Ivan, this gorilla. So again, this is something that you want to aim to do in your story. Try letting things resonate in your story, and your readers will thank you for it. Thanks for watching this lesson on narrative flow, and I'll see you in the next lesson.